Well, you know, we sponsored Pacific.
Right.
I mentioned about Mark Gallagher, a lovely chap, who he was the head of marketing and moved to Jordan, and we moved with him.
Right.
He asked us, were we interested? At that time, we were sponsoring Ray Malik, snooker with Steve Davis, Reading Football Club, Tottenham Football Club, St Helens Rugby League Club. That was one of mine. I had to. And what happened was we had a eureka moment. We found out that if you play it right and don't make it very costly to you, sponsorship works, because if it's just equipment that you take off the assembly line and give to a client, it's worth 4 times what it cost us to make.
Yeah.
So technical sponsorships work incredibly well, and the only investment is in hospitality. So we joined Jordan in 95, 96.
Yeah.
And it was Baricello and then Brundle.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Irvine had just left. He was there for a while.
Was that to go to Ferrari?
Yeah. And we cut our teeth with them. They were fantastic. They supported us. Eddie was great. We could wheel him out in front of any client.
Yeah.
Any event.
Eddie Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just remember every single thing we'd done, and he could just reel it off.
Right.
He was just great.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got really involved, because initially we went into sponsors and ended up being sort of partners with them, because obviously B&H were the main sponsors.
Yeah. Bitten Hisses.
That's the one. Bitten Heroes.
Bitten Heroes.
Yeah,
was it? Remember the EJ10 drink? I
Yeah.
had a bottle of the EJ10 drink.
I'll tell you a story about that.
Oh, yeah.
And we ended up working with them on MasterCard, because they'd come from Lola and got pretty much shafted. And EMC Squared, the disk drive mass storage company, Lucent, all those companies came in on the back of saying, well, if it's good enough for HP, and they're staying with them for a while, it must work for us. And you know, we did a lot of work with them, getting how to measure the investment properly, and we certainly helped Jordan attract other sponsors, which for me was brilliant. It was just but there were times when it was difficult. It was always, you know, it ebbed and flowed.
Yeah.
When corporate got involved, I got my ass kicked for putting HP on the car instead of the HP with Hewlett Packard, the lozenge. But of course now it's on the Ferrari without the Hewlett and Packard.
Yes.
And I'd like to say we were the first. We did it in the 90s. It's quite funny actually, when the HP Ferrari sponsorship was announced, they said it's the first time HP had been in F1, which was nonsense.
That's funny. Nonsense. Really? Did they say that?
Yep.
So the deal with Jordan was a
technical.
It's technical. So supplying equipment essentially.
Yeah.
And support.
Yeah.
Right.
And we supported them all over the world. It was an analogy of a company, because if you send your people around the world and their kit dies when they're with them, they need it to be fixed. So there were great stories of something got damaged in shipping for the pit wall telemetry, and we came on site and got it fixed. Though there were some funny moments. At Silverstone, Pierce Brosnan, who was the James Bond that year.
Yeah. Very underrated James Bond as well.
Yeah, I know. Great guy. And he's obviously Irish. He wanted to visit Eddie.
Yeah.
He'd actually come with Benetton, because HP provided CAD to Benetton as well at the same time.
Right.
And Schumacher, of course, there was a big attraction.
Yeah.
And he came into our pits, and him and his wife, obviously they'd been in the paddock club and drank quite a lot of booze, and enjoying themselves, as every Irishman would.
Yeah.
And I was showing him how we start Jarno's car with the lappy, and
Lap dancer.
no, well maybe, and Dino, Jarno's engineer, who sadly passed away, came up to me. This was like 5 minutes before they went onto the grid. He said, "Where's the laptop? You know, the one that they used to start the car."
Right.
I said, "I don't know." He said, "It's gone."
No.
So Gary, who worked for me, said, "I'm sure I saw Piers Brosnan with it."
Right.
So I legged it after him, down the pits, past all the garages, and there he was, walking with his wife down the pits. So I grabbed the laptop off him.
Was he half-inching a laptop?
Yeah, I think he was.
That's hilarious.
I grabbed the laptop off him and legged it back, and we only just got Jarno's car out.
This sounds like a freaking comedy.
It was not.
routine.
Well, the line is James Bond's run off with my laptop.
That's funny.
Yeah, and Eddie used to ask us to look after celebrities in the pits, which was always fun.
Yeah.
So the best one was in Australia when I lost Deep Purple.
Lost Deep Purple.
I literally lost them.
Yeah. This sounds like a euphemism. Lost Deep Purple.
Yeah, it was the original Deep Purple as well.
Right.
Ian Pace, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I said to you on the phone that my dad was on the same college buses. I think it was
right.
Ian Pace.
That's right. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. So what happened was, Eddie said, "Could you look after him?" It was during the qualifying day, because they were playing a gig afterwards, after the race, and they were all a bit pissed and a bit, hungover,
Yeah.
as you would be. And I said, "Right, I'll go and get some headphones, stay here." And in the old Australian pits in Melbourne, it was old garages, and in between the garages were piles of the tyres. You used to keep the tyres there, on the tyre warmers. And we put a little barrier in front of them, the pull-out ones.
Yeah.
I said, "Stay here, I'll go and get some headphones." Right, yep, no problem. Off I went, came back, no Deep Purple.
Right.
And you know how dangerous it can be in the pit lane. And Bernie used to go nuts if anybody with guests wandered into the pit lane during qualifying.
Right.
There they were, standing in the pit lane in the next garage looking at the car. And the others had gone in the other direction. So there was 3 in one direction, 2 in another. So it was like rounding sheep.
Right, yeah.
I had to go. I shouted Gary. I said, "Go and get those 2 down there." We got out. We had 3. Come back. And of course, in that era, they all had syrups, still with the long hair, but
Yeah.
and I was bothered about them all blowing off actually in the wind. It was quite a windy day, but we got them back, and without Eddie finding out, which I was quite relieved about. But yeah, we just met some marvellous people. Very lucky.
Yeah.
George Harrison was always there.
George Harrison, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him much?
Did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was from Liverpool, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
when he had a Scouse, sort of semi-Scouse voice, in St Helens, we're only 9 miles away,
Yeah.
but we had a Lancashire Scouse accent and he had a Scouse accent.
Yeah.
But he, when he was young, they used to play in St Helens. They'd go to a place called the Plaza and play there.
When he was fab.
When it was fab, yeah. And he used to love coming to Eddie's pits because he was a drummer. He did a little bit of music, and it was quiet, and he was away. He hated big crowds, and he used to just love the anonymity of it.
Yeah.
Where he wasn't the centre of attraction.
Yeah.
Just a lovely bloke. So him and his partner used to come.
His father?
Partner.
Oh, his partner, sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. and it's very sad when he passed away.
Yeah.
I got a great little bit of memorabilia though. It was really funny. One of our customers said, could he have his autograph? I said, he won't give you an autograph.
Yeah.
He said, please. And so I grabbed the Heinz-Harald Frentzen photo. The PR girl used to leave pictures of the drivers everywhere.
Right.
And so I said, George, you don't mind here, I'm going to ask you something. He said, come on.
Yeah.
So we signed it, and I only looked when I got back to the guy. It was said Heinz-Harald Harrison on it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I couldn't give it him.
Yeah.
So I kept it.
Heinz-Harald
I've still got it.
Brilliant.
And you can tell, you know, he had a very specific way of writing his name, Harrison.
Yeah.
So you can tell it's his. And
that's a good story.
it is. I've got the photo on my Facebook page.
Have you?
Yeah. Hi everybody, an extremely sad footnote to yesterday's great day. I spoke to Anthony at length about Eddie and my time with his team, and getting up this morning and learning he'd passed away is just incredibly sad. He gave us all some great times and worked so hard to help myself and Gary and everyone at HP do great things with their sponsorship. My condolences to Marie and his family, and rest in peace, old friend.